Welcome everybody. For those who don't know me, my name is Hugo Bram, co-founder of Virtuagym. Started the business together with my brother Paul, now a little over 12 years ago. Makes me feel old when I say that, and could say like 12 years, not a long time, but when you figure that in 2008, 12 years ago, the App Store was launched, you can realize we've come a long way when it comes to fitness technology. With me today is Greg Maurer from Workout Anytime. Greg, great, thanks for being here. Could you give a short introduction about yourself?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Hugo. I'm the Vice President of Fitness and Education for Workout Anytime Franchising. We have about 180 locations and growing fast. And we've been a Virtuagym customer, go on a year pretty soon. And we've accelerated a lot of plans due to the pandemic. And I'm really excited about what we're talking about today.
Yes, time flies when you're having fun. Huh?
Indeed.
Well, interesting times. Not sure if the last months have been fun so much, but yeah. So for today's topic, we're going to talk about Stronger Together, a new product launch from our company Virtuagym, really aimed at this new reality, a digital turnkey membership solution, basically aimed at providing your members a holistic digital experience without you having to do a lot of work. We're going to start out with the presentation as we go through. There's continuous ability to ask questions, because we're here to kind of fill in any of the open questions for you around Stronger Together. We are there. The product is launched, so you can get started. And we're also going to do a short demo, because those were a few questions coming back, like what does the audio meditation look like, the video on demand, etc. So I'm going to show you some of that as well. So I'm just going to share my screen. Just a second. All right. You have a visual now?
Yes.
Yes. So, and again, we have some people of our team ready to answer any questions you may have, and they can also let us know. Kaylin, please let us know if there's like interesting questions we can answer essentially. So, I think in these times, I think first and foremost there's been a lot of uncertainty. When the first lockdown kind of came, I think, speaking for Europe, initially our prime minister in the Netherlands, a very small country in the Western Europe, said that this is going to be for a period of 3 weeks. We now know it was a lot longer. And I think during the lockdown, the big question is like, how long is this going to take? When are we allowed to go open? And the whole the concept of Stronger Together kind of found its inception in the uncertainty and of course the challenges that COVID-19 put for us as an industry, being forced to close our doors, unable to serve our clients with our regular services. Started thinking, okay, at the one side we see customers making that successful transition. On the other side, some were struggling. It's a lot of work. It's challenging to provide a good digital solution. So couldn't we help our customers to make this transition? And in all honesty, as gyms were opening up again, we were thinking like, okay, is this, are we maybe down too late with the proposition? But looking forward, I think the changes that have happened, the adoption of fitness technology is here to stay. And I think, and we'll be talking about that a bit later, the opportunities for offering an ongoing digital service in addition to your physical membership are big, and I think it's something that you need to jump on board with. So, yeah, Greg, we just discussed just before the show, gyms are reopening. We've heard some alarming data. For example, in the Netherlands, the gyms lost around 30% of their customers. Many members are still reluctant to go back to their facilities. Can you tell a bit about how it's been for Workout Anytime those first weeks during reopening?
Yeah, I'd echo what you're saying. We were very pleased with heavy sales on reopening, but my perception of that, our perception of that is, while of course we're always happy to have heavy sales, that you're getting the people that are most interested in fitness, that are real fitness aficionados, right? And they're going to come back soonest. And you're getting people from other clubs that, I'm sorry to say, have closed, for example. So while that's very nice, that does not make a business strategy, Hugo. So our perception is that we're going to be short 20 to 30% revenue even by year end if we sit where we are. So it's great that there's a bump in sales. We always like that, right? But that's not a strategy. So for us, we say, where are we going to make up? In our minds, we want to try to be prepared to make up 25% of our revenue. That's significant. And we're at about 65% of our revenue pre-pandemic, and we still got gyms closed. But that's a big gap, as you know. And I think everyone on this call needs to plan for that. And so you have to say, where am I going to make that up? And part of making that up is what we're talking about today. And I think the other thing that's important to understand is what we've seen in our many clubs is we have operators, because we're a franchise organization, that have maintained very good contact with their members and their staff digitally. They've given services, they've done a lot of things to maintain contact and maintain value during the shutdown, even though we're not receiving any revenue. The clubs that did that, Hugo, are seeing a much higher percentage of their members returning faster. The clubs that kind of sat there and said, you know, I'm just going to wait till this is over, there's nothing I can do, they're really going to be in trouble. So I think, how do we maintain contact? How do we maintain relevancy for our members and previous members? And digital is a huge part of that. So you're absolutely right. We think it's a necessity. It's not a nice to have, it's a must have right now.
Yeah, that's some great insights. Thanks for that. So yeah, you're saying digital. I think if how the let's say the physical fitness industry has been struggling, I think COVID-19 has been almost, it's hard to say, but like a blessing for the digital fitness industry. Brands like Peloton and Mirror have been seeing increased sales significantly as people were forced to work out within their homes during the lockdown. In how far do you see this as a kind of a threat moving forward? Do you think there will be a part of members that kind of have adopted a new way of working out at home, or are you confident that everybody will find their way back into the facility? Or
I'm not confident that everyone will come back for the reasons you outlined. So there's people right now, lots of them, thousands of them, who figured out how to work out at home, right, out of necessity. So some of them can't wait to get back to the gym and are going to rush right back to the gym the second they can. And then you're going to have people on the other end who are just going to say, for two reasons. One, I'm not confident about my gym's ability to keep me safe. That's number one. Number two, you know what? This is working. You know, I'm working out in my living room. I bought some bands and wow, it's very convenient. At the very least, Hugo, I think it would be prudent to assume that your visits will drop long term, right? So even if I maintain my membership, and I think the other thing that's going to happen without question is it's going to become expected that I have digital options associated with my health club. And I think something for everyone to remember is Mirror was just purchased by Lululemon. I don't know if everyone saw that, but Lululemon purchased them. And if you listen to the Lululemon CEO, and he was asked, why did you do that? He goes, I want a seat in the living room, in my client's living room. So it's beyond making money. He wants his brand to be part of your life. And if you think about that for a second, how much time does a good club member spend in our club a week? 5 hours? So where are they spending the rest of the time and what are they doing? So I think we all need to aspire to be lifestyle brands. And so we need to affect behavior outside of the club if we want to really make positive changes as it relates to the quality of people's lives and the length of their lives. And how do we do that? So, that's really setting the table for creating a digital offering that finishes the other half. And I think Stronger Together is a really good part of that, because it gives someone, a member, the ability to really do everything they need to do to have a complete, holistic, wellness lifestyle, if you will. That may sound trite, but I think it really could do that.
Oh, I couldn't have said it better. I hope our marketing team is writing along, and if you're looking for a job, let me know. No, I couldn't agree more. I think and I think what you also touch upon is, I think the value add, because I think, yes, there is a segment in the market that wants to work out at home, but I think for the majority of the people, and that offers opportunities, going to a physical location where they have access to good equipment, where they have access to a social environment, getting out of the house, meeting people. That's definitely something that's not going to go away. And I think as a gym, you have that benefit of being able to offer two things. Had that in facility, great services, great workout offering, and the online side of things.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I think what, as I mentioned, I noticed during the lockdowns, kind of a dual response, as you also said, with your franchisees. Some businesses were really kind of using digital to stay in touch, and others a bit more passive. But then even those who were using digital, we've seen, and we've had some in our webinars as well, that were really effective and successful in kind of keeping their revenues in place. Even up to some studio owners charging $120 per month, going completely to Zoom, and keeping their membership base in place, and the revenue that was very very impressive, I would say. I think that is on the one end because they made that effort, and they were building upon the solidarity of their members. But on the other side, they were actually also offering an alternative, and at the same time, I also saw some customers providing a lot. I think this would work out anytime as well, right? You provide a lot of it for free during the lockdowns. Obviously, in the beginning, nobody knew how long this was going to take, but I think on the long term, providing these resources for free is not a sustainable business. You can include it, of course, in your membership services as part of the whole offering. But if you're putting in work and you're adding experience to it for your members, I think you can and should charge for it. And yeah, as said, I think upon now with reopening, consumers will expect, and in any case appreciate, this blended offering of combining the ability to keep working out at home when it's feasible for them, and go to facility when they have the time and feel comfortable to do so. And that's really the concept of Stronger Together, supporting you as a customer of Virtuagym in making this transition towards virtual, making this offering a rich online membership experience. So what is it? Again, this rich experience for at-home training, and also a tool to basically build upon your members' solidarity to support you. Obviously, now when you're reopening, this is less relevant. But yeah, then again, we don't know how things will develop, and I think it's good to have a digital service in place that you can keep running if God forbid, hopefully not, a second wave would come. So it's like a community experience for your members with bi-weekly challenges where they can win real prizes, content groups hosted by, or like managed by our team, with weekly updates on fitness, wellness, and nutrition. There's a whole streaming workout library in there, audio meditation, and we're working hard in improving kind of the whole gamification experience as well to add to that too. So the video on demand service was also priorly available separately. During the lockdown, we released this solution. This is integrated in the Stronger Together offering. Over 600 workout videos. I think it's over 800 by now. Wide variety of offering, from yoga to high intensity training to martial arts, etc. And yeah, I think the idea behind Stronger Together is really provide this complete Netflix of fitness type of experience, and then having the ability to do yoga at home in addition to your strength training in the club, I think is just a great added value. Just gonna show you, and it's hard during the presentation, but what that looks like, the Stronger Together. So it's basically a video library, and this is also available in directly from your mobile app. So it's good to understand that Stronger Together doesn't replace your app. It's basically a bolt-on to the experience of your app, and it's unlocked through the pro membership in your app. So the moment you say like, yes, I'm excited to get started with Stronger Together, which currently we don't charge a setup fee during the first week after release. So and then it becomes available, and members can unlock it as pro members and get access to the content. So as you see, there's various categories like cardio, high intensity training, cycling, strength, martial art, dance. And then there's the ability also to select on various levels, duration, and just search videos. So let's say if I'm interested in yoga, and just searches, and you see like there's a wide variety of content on here with yoga. And as you see, there's really a lot of choice.
Well, Hugo, the other thing I would tell everyone about this service that was exciting to me is that the quality is very high, but two, there's a lot of named programs like Zumba that you have as part of this library. And the reason that's significant is because for our members anyway, they know that name. Like they know that name very well. They know the name Taibo. So there's a lot of, to try to create that content ourselves at the club level, I don't think there's anyone that could do this. You wouldn't have this kind of content, this wide variety of it, but content that immediately resonates with your members because it checks all the major boxes. You know, there's dance, martial arts, yoga, Pilates, every buzz category that you know of is built in there, and it's robust. So there's going to be something in there, I think, for everyone, and that was exciting to us.
Yeah. So I think it's obviously everybody knows brands like ClassPass. I'm just starting here an example video of this lovely lady.
Standing pose that we call either mountain and or Tadasana. Bring the hands into a...
So you can play these full screen. Obviously, if you're playing from a laptop, you can connect it to your smart TV or do it directly with your laptop. From the mobile app, there's the ability to cast it through things like Chromecast. So you can see it directly on the TV. And yeah, I think this is kind of, you have to see it a bit as a digital version of ClassPass, so to say, right? You have this wide variety of workout options in addition to your regular membership at the gym. So, do you have any questions at this point coming in, team, that perhaps we could answer in between? There's a silence. I think.
Not really, Hugo. There was one question. I already answered it, but maybe you can answer it for everyone. So does this app only provide third-party workouts, or can you use your own content as well?
Yeah, that's a very good question. We got that before in a different the Dutch launch as well. Is that it's good to understand because it kind of integrates with your existing app, you can combine it with your own content. So you can add your own workout plans to it. You can add your own groups to it. And you can also link this offering with, for example, live streaming classes as well. Which I think, actually, Greg, you are also looking at this, right? You told me you're...
Yeah, we'll be doing, we're actually in the process of creating a studio in some office space that we're locating in our building, which is very easy to get these days, and creating a little bit of a studio, if you will, so that we can deliver live virtual classes. Found another platform to do that, and we think that that's just, again, it's one more extension of your brand. It's great to have video on demand, and there's a group of people that are going to be really excited about that, and that's going to fulfill their needs. And there's going to be other people that want that feedback, want that instruction, want that sense of camaraderie, and we can duplicate that outside of the club with a virtual class offering.
Yeah, that's great. So it's good to know you can combine that with the Zoom integration that we currently also offer in Virtuagym, or embed a separate platform also option. And again, this type of experience, the streaming workout videos with such a rich library, would typically retail at around $10 per month. People would buy this in a separate app. Then the next part of the content is the meditation side of. I think everybody is aware of the success of apps like Headspace and Calm. It's actually when I visited the US last year, I was just seeing Calm billboards, Calm relaxation things in the airport, because Calm was everywhere. And I think what it shows is just like, in these hectic times, that people are like overstimulated by impressions from screens, from work. We have the dual jobs. Stress is one of the key issues currently in people's health. So I think the future of clubs is not just about exercise. It's not just about exercise and nutrition, but it's also about mental health. Because it's such an important part of our well-being, reducing stress, helping people to sleep better. And I think this is a great digital way of adding that to your member experience in a turnkey solution. So is a more holistic offering, Greg, currently something that you are offering within your clubs as well, or?
When you're speaking specifically to meditation?
Yeah, are you giving meditation sessions in the clubs, or?
No, that's another thing we're excited about, because that's an area that we have not explored, and we certainly don't, I don't think in-house we've got the expertise to deliver that across the board. So having a digital solution that allows our clubs to provide this service through the upgrade is really, really powerful, because as you said, stress reduction, sleep, I mean, that's pretty ubiquitous. Just there's very few people who don't, if you ask them, what's troubling you? Well, yes, I am stressed out right now. And yes, I am having difficulty sleeping. And so exercise is one component of providing a solution to that, but we need diet, we need meditation, we need all these tools to really help them develop a lifestyle that works for them. So yeah, we're really excited about this as well, and we don't have that in-house, but we will now through this offering.
Yeah. So basically, it's very similar. Those who know the app Calm, it's very similar to that. We have various topics on meditation, sleep meditation, body, nature sounds, so everything from waterfalls to like forest sounds that people can use as a background for meditating, and the same with sounds, helping people to sleep better, and meditative music. So we can just have a look at one of the examples. Did you, by the way, hear the sound previously? I'm not sure if I turned on the sound during the...
Don't think so.
No, you didn't hear the sound during the video?
Well, actually, I did hear the sound. Yes, I did.
Okay.
During that last video, yes.
Okay, that's good. So yeah, there's here a selection of various meditations, and these are still kind of being added as we speak. I think currently there are around 20 meditation videos, 25 nature videos, music, etc. So I can just play it. Let me hear.
In today's busy world,
Do you have audio or not? No.
Yes.
Okay.
Productivity. Let's explore a very simple way of getting some more clarity and rest in your mind.
So I think
So
those
this may enrich your life.
familiar with Headspace, they actually also have a British voice. Or if you're into British voices, you'll get served well.
Breathe easily.
So I think that's clear. So that's also part of it. Again, apps like Calm and Headspace, they charge around $10 per month as well for this offering. And this is then again integrated part of your app. There will be a tile on your home screen called Meditations, and that will load this content automatically in for Pro members in your app. And then the next part is really around the engagement. We believe that touch points, digital or physical, can really help increase retention. It's also shown by research. So by kind of having multiple touch points through your app with your brand, we can increase the engagement with your member. Things like providing a workout of the week that they can do at home, running the challenges, where they can win real prizes, group updates with recipes and fitness tips, etc. That's really gonna enhance, at the one side, the membership experience. So you basically are able to offer a lot richer experience to your members, and at the other side, it's going to increase those touch points and interaction with your brand. So that will have a positive effect on your retention. And there was a question, I think, from Bono we got in beforehand, asking who's providing the real prizes. And this is actually also done by us. So by participating in the challenges, winners can win a prize, and actually the whole shipping, etc. of those prizes will be done by us. So it's really no effort for you as a business. So yeah, then again, as it works, is part of the Pro membership. So you basically set up a membership in Virtuagym or your own member management system. That's kind of depending on what you prefer. You can directly sell it. There's a link through an Upgrade Pro page in the app that can automatically activate the membership. If you have your own membership and billing solution, when a member clicks it, there will be an email sent to your administration to activate the Pro on the member's membership, and the Pro membership is automatically activated in the app already. And then, as said, we do all the heavy lifting. So we run challenges, update the groups with weekly content, and you have the ability to enhance this digital experience with live classes if you want to, but this is not necessary. And as said, that's a good way of adding additional experience and having additional revenue from those digital memberships. So we advise to charge somewhere between $6.99 and $9.99. If you're adding more personal services like digital live streaming classes, you can go way higher. We've seen customers pay a lot more. I do think that post-COVID-19, the world will look a bit different in terms of being able to charge your member very high services for digital, because I think now a lot has been around solidarity to support you as a business. But once the clubs reopen, members will have a look at, hey, what am I paying for at my club, and what are these digital only providers offering? So I think by choosing a price just a little below $9 or $10, you're gonna keep the pricing super competitive. Obviously, they already also pay for the in-club services. So that's what we'd advise. So quick calculation. What it would look like if you have 2,500 members and set a price of $8.99 per month. and you're able to convert 20% of your members, that's over 50K in extra revenue. Now, our model is that we don't charge any fixed or upfront costs. We charge $2 per member per month for the licensing of the content, and everything else is for you. Then additionally, if you would look, and I think it's fair to assume that this will have a positive impact on retention. So for that 20%, if we're assuming that each of those 20% of members, that's 500 members, if they would stay 1 month longer because they enjoy your service more because of all the additional value, the fact that they can do the yoga stuff at home, the audio meditation, that's not a $16,000 extra that you're making from this. So that's a bit about the financial model behind it. So yeah, again, I think the concept is really about help your members to also have an ability to stay fit at home, but also expand your offering to a more holistic experience. And in return, they can help you by chipping in this digital membership offering that you have. So I think it's a great way also in the current uncertain times to balance your risk, so to say. So yeah. Do we have any questions at this point coming in through the app, Kaylee?
There's one open question right now. So it says, my facility is for women only. Will there be group challenges specifically for women, or will there be a way for me or my members to filter the offering so that they will be able to maintain a safe space which they are
to which
they are accustomed. Sorry, that's a hard word.
Yeah, yeah.
Made of
And so yeah, Marissa, if I understand correctly, you are looking for an environment exclusively for women. Is that correct? So at this point, the way it's, so Marissa answers yes. So the way it's currently set up is that those challenges, etc., are available for everybody joining in. So they're not kind of exclusive or closed down in any way. Then Sami asks, like, is there a charge for the optional streaming? Well, the video on demand that we showed, so the library in there is included in the fee. If you want to offer your own live streaming classes, you can do so by using, for example, providers like Zoom or YouTube live streaming. Virtuagym has integrated support for these. So you can build a schedule, and for if you schedule a group fitness class at 11, then you can add the Zoom link in there, and people that book that class, whether it's free or paid, then get access to the link to join in. So there's from our side no additional charge around this. I saw another question coming in. So Anna's asking if the partnerships for the videos are set, or will we always look to rotate providers, maybe even for some of the less known names? Yeah, so this is continuously under review. So it's not a rigid content library. This will be kind of fluid, and we'll be adding new providers in there and taking other ones out, also depending on popularity of the classes, to keep optimizing the offering.
Yes, actually, Hugo and Greg, I have a question for you. It's very interesting. It's not in the Q&A, but actually it's internally, and I think it deserves a good answer. The question is, I'm already offering my own digital services. How can I do better with Virtuagym? And of course, making more money.
You know, I think you have to look at what are the it's a decision any business has, which is, do I build my own solution, which is what you're referring to, or do I obtain it from somebody else? In our case, when we look at what it would take to produce the production quality videos that you're talking about alone, it's not even worth discussing. It's enormously expensive to produce content like that. I don't know if everyone's aware, but there's licensing involved here. So the content that Hugo showed you on video on demand, you better have an intellectual property lawyer. You better be thinking about your music. If you're not thinking about that, you better start thinking about that, because the music you use online, guys, they're going to be coming after you if you're not paying those royalties. So all of that is over. You don't have to think about that. So, if you have the resources to build all this on yourself, I'm like amazed. But I can't imagine us trying to create these resources out of what we have as a brand. We just don't have the resources and things that we need in-house to be able to create that. So that's my answer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great point. And I think as we got this question also in the previous webinar, as said, some of our customers, they have been successful in already providing a digital offering and charging for it. I think it's just about the question with those $2 expense on it. Couldn't you raise the price with maybe $5? I don't know how much you're charging now, but in our experience, typically our customers were charging $4 per month. I think with the new content, you can increase that to $9 per month. And as a result, offer a way better experience to your members because it's more rich, more complete. It will result in a longer retention, definitely on the digital side. So you're gonna make longer time revenue from the digital subscription. So I think it's a simple, just a simple thing about doing the math. And
Hugo, I saw a question about licensing, just to address this because I've spent a lot of time, guys. And I know this, so I'll just answer it for Hugo. The reality is the video on demand solution that you're being provided here is through a provider that Virtuagym has a partnership with. And long story short, you do not need to worry about licensing as it relates to using this. That's part of what you're paying for, to be indemnified, to be covered. Now, if you are doing live classes, whole new ball game. I would tell you right now, if you're going to do live classes, you want to go online and look up a company called Feed FM, F-E-E-D FM. Why? I'm going to be blunt. They are the only game in town. If you try to license yourself, you're going to license with literally 5 different organizations or you're not covered. So you can't just play any music whenever you want in a live class, or you are opening yourself up to tremendous liability. So that's one of the reasons that I'm comfortable with dealing with Virtuagym. They've taken that off the plate. I don't have to worry about licensing issues and if someone going to come after me for the trademark or for the music. So it's a good question and something that this takes care of for you, which I think is a very big deal. As a brand, we cannot take a risk with something like that because the risk is enormous.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, in a former life, I used to be an intellectual property lawyer. Not a lot of people know this, but yeah, I know, and especially in these times, where there's obviously been a significant rise in online training, etc. I think we need to be careful in violating copyrights there. But yeah, that's can you repeat it's called Feed FM? Correct?
Feed FM, and what they do, just guys, they give you it's the music you want, which is first run music, right? They take care of all the licensing, they indemnify you. And what they do is you have channels like playlists that you can choose from. Here's something you need to know. There is no way you can play first run music and play it in any order you want and create your own playlist and play it. None of that is going to pass legal muster. So to my mind, if you are doing these live classes, the only game in town is Feed FM, and they do a very nice job of giving you great music. And by the way, you can't record and replay that music either, so you can only deliver it live. Each situation when it comes to licensed content like music is its own animal. And that's what this company Feed FM does. So you don't have to worry about any of that as it relates to video on demand, because you're covered through the relationship with Virtuagym and their provider who has licensed and pay for that content. So you don't need to worry about that. This is only Feed FM would be if you are deciding, if you're delivering virtual live classes with an instructor, with music, you really want to take a look at them.
It's a good tip. Thanks. Thanks so much.
Sure.
Finally, do we have any further questions? Otherwise, I'm gonna be respectful of everybody's time and thank everybody for joining. Oh, there's I see a thing popping up. So how this question, Darren is asking how this would work with the main Virtuagym app that clients are using. Are they pushed between different apps, or is it contained within the main app?
Great question.
Yeah. So again, to underline, it is not a separate solution. This Stronger Together is going to be an integral part of your existing app. And it bolts onto the pro member experience. So pro members have access to all the audio meditation, video content, the pro challenges, etc. The groups are available for all your members. I forgot to mention that. I think that's the great value. So all your members will have access to weekly updates with nutrition tips, training tips, and wellness tips. So I think that's gonna save you a ton of work in kind of feeding that community. But yeah, everything else it's really an integral part of your member app. So not a separate experience. Yes, great. Well, thanks so much, everybody, for your time. And I know it's been super busy, kind of with the reopenings. I hope we've at least inspired you around the potential of offering a digital membership experience to your members, and we hope that Stronger Together can be a good solution to help you out. If you have any questions or feedback, you can always contact us through our sales@Virtuagym line or your known support channels. So, and Wilson asks, he's joining late where the webinar is. Wilson, I'll leave the webinar open to answer that, but then hereby end the webinar. Thanks again, everybody. And Greg also for joining, appreciate it.
Sure thing. Bye-bye, Hugo.
Yes.